Hello and welcome to Nine Kings. Now, today I'm going to try to play the King of Nothing and try to win on the count difficulty. And I want to reset the perks here because I don't think Ingenious, which allows you to level up your castle, is that great. I just thought it was kind of fun to try out. Troops starting with 10% more HP per rank could be good. +1 Royal Decree option might be good. Losing a life, giving rerolls isn't great. Start with one random card from your king per hand. That could be good. In fact, I'm going to drop 2 there and then start with 2 extra cards. And now the reason that is that just having 2 extra cards means you can place 2 extra things in the first round, which could very well make or break some strategies. In this case, I'm really liking what I have here. So I'm going to drop the Paladins here and I'm going to drop a farm here. I'm going to actually level up the farm. Even though I haven't leveled up the Paladins at all, having 5 of them at the start is pretty nice. And I'm trying to just keep the Paladins around this farm so they can just keep getting buffed up. Paladins also have 8 damage, which is pretty respectable. Now this one's kind of funny. Boar can be mounted by adjacent troops for each 1 HP it has. Right, increases rider stats by 1. I'm going to take that. I've never tried these before. I'm just going to drop it here. Now, they have only 15 HP by default. That means that when the Paladins ride them, right? Oh, by adjacent troops. Okay, I've put them in the wrong space. That's okay, that's fine. I'm gonna take a Vampirism and drop it on this. I might be able to move that in the future, or I can just put something next to it. I don't want to cannibalize the farm rolls, but I've never used the boar troop successfully, and I think that shows. Another Paladin. All things have a 20% chance to crit, 99 more gold, or 9 free rerolls. I'll take the rerolls here, actually, just because I might be able to roll for something more specific in the future. Now, when Diplomat comes out, choose between peace or war. It's gonna be war, and I think I want the King of Stone to try to go for an earthwork so I can move this and get another spot, especially with a forest. So I'm going to grab the forest, and for now I'm going to put it here because I plan to put the boars here in the future, at least when I get a new boar or if I can get an earthworks to roll one. A castle upgrade. Yeah, that's gonna be... I'm finally gonna upgrade the castle. The castle is pretty good, all things considered. Doubles the HP of a card on a target plot. Please be right here. Okay, it's right there. That does mean if I put the boars there, they'd get double HP. And that's on top of the HP they're already getting, which could be nice if I wanted to put a unit here, so I'll have to keep that in mind. So if I put a unit here, I can actually put another buff right here. So I'm actually going to consider that. I guess, what unit can I get to go there? Farm upgrade, I'm going to drop that there. I'm fighting the King of Nature. I guess, like, not elves. There's not a ton of units I'd want to have there otherwise, but we'll see how things go. Procreate's really good, so is Clone. I'm actually going to clone the boars. And I'm going to go for the King of Stone. There he is. Just to get the Stoneworks card and the other things he gives. Probably one of my favorite kings to play with. So now, 6 of these guys should get mounted, yeah. And they're going to get 15% more stats. Which is just kind of nice, because 15% more damage and HP. I don't know what happens when the unit dies, if like the boar comes back, but I guess that's something to figure out. Now I'm going to re-roll. I'm actually going to go for Carnage. I'm going to level up my castle. Now that should be a max level castle, so I shouldn't be offered any more of those. I did see a castle in the last roll of cards, which I didn't actually know could happen when you had one in hand, but I guess now I know. Now the boar riders are going in. You see the Paladins are doing most of the damage here. Now I get another clone card and another boar, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab the boar And executioners. Just get another paladin card. I think mine's only level 2, so grab that. And I can afford another card, so I'm going to re-roll and grab a boar card. So I'm going to boar, and paladin. So now I've got a bunch of boars, and they have 60 HP. So they're actually a 60% stat boost to the paladins you get on them. That's pretty significant, and it also makes them faster, which is nice, because paladins, as you can see, are a pretty slow troop. Now there's the earthworks I wanted. Now at this point, I don't need it, but I might as well earthworks and move these guys so they can get hit by a double HP buff when it happens. Now I would like to level them up, because you see as these guys level, they have 60 HP, so I can have up to 120 HP on a boar here, which means I could get another troop to drop there to get a ton of buffs. Now, if I was manually shooting the rocks there, I could have killed those guys off a lot faster. I'm going to go blacksmith. And I'm going to drop the blacksmith right here. Buff the damage of these guys. Now, because of how stats work in this game, when these guys damage increase and then get on a boar, the 60% will give them even more damage. And the 60% is actually going to keep going up with this forest. So I want to upgrade that. Hopefully the King of Nature will provide me with either new forest or new boar. I'm going to go with clone, and I'm actually going to clone the forest in this case. 66% now from these boars, which is just going to keep scaling. So far, this is going pretty well, but I think I'm going to need a new DPS troop at some point, because just running one stack of paladins with one stack of boars doesn't sound like a key to success, although I can just keep bumping them up. Increases the attack of all units and towers by 30%. Grab that and drop Vampirism. Now, if the boars do, like, drop after the paladin on top of it dies, which I can see 36... I can't hover over this. 36 and 3, 17 now. Well, all the boars are dead. Oh wait, no, there was one there. I'm gonna go with earthworks again. Do that and drop that. Because I would rather put carnage on the boar itself. Because if the boars drop off of the paladins when the paladin dies, then having the boar explode would be better, because the boars are going to end up having more HP. I'm assuming that the paladin would die before the boar when the boar is the one riding it. I'm going to go for another boar here. Now that's where the peacetime happens, where they double their HP. I'm going to drop carnage on... I'm going to level up this boar first. And then I'll put carnage on these boards afterwards. No idea if it's going to have an effect, but at this point the boars are going to start outscaling their health. Now, I notice I can't actually hover over it, and I'm realizing that's because none of those boars are alive anymore. So I don't actually want to do that, because that means that carnage isn't going to affect them. Grab another stack of vampirism, so I'm just going to go even further in on the paladins. I want this slot here, and then I can put a forest here for the paladins too. It was just more important to get the scaling stats for the boars, because the boars are going to buff the paladins, and everything else is going to buff the paladins. Right now, I've got 54 of them, so... let's go for a forest. Now, there's another forest. These guys now have 80 HP, and it's just going to keep going up. So far, this run is good, but I also can't help but feel like at some point it's just going to wipe me. Like, these guys do so much damage. They also do, like, group damage. If all my guys just stay here sit up, yeah, I was kind of expecting that. I wonder if I can kill these before they approach. I don't know, they've got too much health. Well, I killed some of them. Okay. If they didn't get all bunched up there, that would have worked out, but that's just kind of unfortunate. Again, get this spot so I can get another buff. And drop Carnage. I don't want to drop Carnage. Actually, what I think I'm going to do here is drop the archers. So I can get another troop to do some damage at long range. Now, they're level 1, so they're going to do like no damage. But this should go much better because I'm not fighting the ballistas. Those ballistas are rough. They're very high damage, slow firing, but I guess I just got stuck on like maybe a golem or something. And my guys just stood on each other, so they all got blown away by the AoE. I like Sacrifice. I really do like Sacrifice. But I'm gonna go Cemetery here for the sake of like putting it here and then getting imps or something else that's pretty small. I'm gonna drop Carnage on these guys now, so when they do die, they're gonna blow up and hopefully take something with them. Now you'll start seeing little AoE spots when they do die, like in there, which is gonna help contribute to their damage. Now this should be a win. Yeah. Not too concerned about fighting Nothing Rebellion. They haven't scaled like I did. Although the enemies do scale very quickly in the later game, so that's something to keep in mind. And there's a blacksmith, which I need. Doubles the HP of all troops. 193 HP. So these guys are going to be approaching a 200% stat boost. These guys already have 166. That's really nice. So I'm going to drop that down. How many of these guys are there? 66, 2 of them. Really nice. Now, in my previous games, I tried to stack things on like the wizard with glass wands and elves, but I just found that the glass wand wizards, even with like 10 stacks of steel coating, just died too fast. And what steel coating does is it makes it so, depending on how many stacks you have, they just take 0 damage from those attacks. I'm going to go ahead and get this boar because I don't think I've leveled this one up to all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and max this boar out. So now it's level 3. And it's got 400 HP. I should get something else to put up there, because just having a 400% stat boost is going to help even a weak card. Imps? I don't think so. I'm going to grab another Carnage. We can make peace. King of Stone. Do I have anything of his? No, I mainly wanted him for Earthwork, so I don't mind getting rid of him. A Cemetery, I'm just gonna drop here, because I don't actually want to use the buff slot I could put on the Paladins. Even if I don't use it in this video, I do like leaving those spots open to hyper buff them even more. Another reason to get rid of the King of Stone is that I don't want another one of those ballista situations happening, because again, I just have a bunch of slow troops who might get stuck on a golem or something and get blown away, which I really don't want. I could go for another farm. In fact, I am going to go for another farm. Now, do I want to put it on Paladins or Boars? I'd rather put it on the Boars here, so more of my Paladins can mount the Boars and get that 200% stat boost. Because right now my base Paladins are really good, but then when you multiply their stats by 200%, they're just even better. So that's the strategy I want to go for. Carnage or Vampirism? I'm going to go for another Vampirism here. And there's one of the things I want, which would be the Beacon. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to grab the Blacksmith. Upgrade that. Now the Beacon increases the attack speed of whatever it buffs, which is only 0.25 for the Paladin, so he attacks very slowly compared to some of the other troops. Like the Archer has 0.59, Boar has 0.59, so he attacks twice as slow. So this should hopefully start scaling. Now at this point, you can already see the boss is upcoming, so I don't think it's going to scale enough to really matter. If I want to go into endless mode, it would matter. But it currently looks like I'm just really sweeping through the enemies in most of these battles. There's the wild card. There's the steel coat I was talking about. Cancels the first hit the target unit would take every battle. Now, if I were to upgrade something... I can upgrade the Beacon and hope that upgrading it will make its effect actually matter. Because even if I can just get it up to 0.3, 0.33, then attacking 20% faster is probably worth it by the end of this, just for just how many troops are in that square. And another stack of Vampirism, just so they can keep alive for longer. And I'm gonna pop that there. And just drop Vampirism. Now, I do want to put another stack of Carnage on these guys by the end, because if they can blow up and do a ton of damage, it's gonna really help. But it's not a priority, because not a ton of them are dying to begin with. I'm gonna sweep through their archers, and we'll be on to year 28. I'm just gonna take a set of farms, drop it there to get more boars. I'm glad this strategy's going well, because I've lost every other game at this difficulty, and part of it is I feel like I just keep trying to go with gimmicky strategies than just the tried and true ones. Can't really go wrong mass buffing an elite troop like the Paladin. I'm gonna re-roll this. Gambling now. Exploration's kind of bad. Doubles the maximum HP of all troops. Yep, let's go with that. 620 HP on the boars. So 620% more stats on the Paladins, which are already really good. That's perfect. I wonder if the boar's stat boost, I didn't actually read it, increases the rider's stats by 1%. I wonder if that affects hits per second. Because if that does affect hits per second, which I think it might actually, then these guys are actually even better than I thought. Gonna drop the wild card here, get even more boars. Now these guys are at 1300. I might just re-roll to buy a troop to put there and see what a level 1 unbuffed troop does with this level boar next to it. It's kind of hard for me not to buy this Procreate, so I am going to do that. Hopefully oh, well, then, you know, this might be the final battle. No, it's not the final battle. The next one will be. So if I do this, I actually get the achievement for having 99 troops on a single square. So that's great. And then I'm going to drop these on the boars. 106 of these Paladins with 333 HP and about 50 damage. And then I don't know how many of the boars I have, but that's giving them 600% more stats. That is 6 times, so like what, 1800? Okay, I got a level 1 soldier, so I'm just gonna drop that here. And we'll see how good these soldiers do with a 1400% stat boost, almost a 15. Oh my goodness. Level 1 with no buffs. Oh, I guess it has the HP buffs, which means they're also very hard to kill. 11,000 damage on a level 1 troop. I very much enjoy seeing that. So this is the final wave. Use all your cards. So just gonna drop that, drop that. I'm just gonna sell the Earthworks. I don't need it here. So this should be a win unless I just get completely rolled. I don't know what the King of Blood does. I just immediately lost half my troops. Oh, okay, wait. The boars, when the riders mount them, must count as losing troops. So far I've lost 0 of them. Now I've lost 1. This is very nice. And they just destroyed the Titan. And that's a victory. A well-deserved victory, in my opinion, after so much attempts. I'm just going to show endless mode here, in that you can now expand your kingdom whenever, and the enemies are going to start scaling a lot more. But I'm not going to bother with this. I'm happy just calling it there with getting 1 win. So I'll see you next time.